Our spotlight story tonight is about the homeless living in Grant County. Each year, volunteers take time to count and care for these people. Here with the story is Ryan Lancaster.
While it may be rural, Grant County is not immune to homelessness. Last year, the Housing Authority found 65 individuals living without a place to call home during the point-in-time homeless count. Homeless Program Supervisor Stephanie Bonwell says 109 people were found to be making do in motels or emergency shelters. 66 of these households were families with children. Each year at the end of January, Bonwell heads up a one-day survey of the homeless, the same survey done by agencies across the nation that receive funding for homeless assistance programs.
So what local communities and counties do is we compile data from counts done in a variety of ways, submit that to the state, and then the state then submits it to the federal government.
This year's count was being carried out today by area agencies and dozens of volunteers who set out at 6 a.m.
We have found that the earlier that we start, the more likely we will find people not up and moving yet. So the goal is to kind of catch them before they leave their sleeping area for the day.
Volunteers also give out donations to those in need, including warm coats, winter wear, blankets, and portable heaters.
So once they kind of get their marching orders of where they're going to go, we get them all signed up, they then gather up supplies that they'll need, the blankets, food packs, jackets, warm clothing, and then they're off.
Teams of volunteers are assigned to areas around the county where they try to make connections and find out where homeless people may be.
And one of the best ways is just kind of going and talking to people. Gas stations tend to be very informative of, yes, there's somebody sleeping in their car behind the gas station. And what we have found is that conversation leads to finding someone, then that someone tells about another person. There's a fan. Our northern part of the county count has always been the most successful at finding people living outdoors or who are literally homeless in like abandoned buildings. They've even found people living in caves. And what they do is they kind of start out at the places that homeless may hang out at and start asking people, and that's where they have just been led to person after person after person.
While Grant County has no homeless shelter, a variety of services are offered, including a transitional housing complex, emergency and rental assistance programs, and a New Hope domestic violence shelter. Bonwell says some homeless people do leave the area in the wintertime for communities with more services.
What we also find is they may not be leaving the county, but they may be able to stay, kind of couch surf, bounce around. We know that in the Mattawa area that is one of the big things that happens.
Mattawa was the center of a recent homeless outreach and counting event that Bonwell says brought out about 60 people, including 6 homeless families.
The hope is that once we establish events like this in Mattawa, that we can hold other events in other areas to possibly have people come to us and make the count even more successful.
For more information on homelessness in Grant County, contact Bonwell at the Housing Authority of Grant County. For iFIBER 1 News, this is Ryan Lancaster reporting.
Thanks, Ryan. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more news right after this.